Hey guys, today I'm reviewing an application that will help automate your life. Let's check it out.
This episode of XDA Developer TV is brought to you by the XDA DevCon. Join us August 9th through 11th in Miami, Florida, a conference for developers by developers. More information available at www.xda-devcon.com.
Samantha posted an article on the XDA portal referencing an application called Profile Flow. This was developed and maintained by XDA forum member Amit GC. This is a Tasker alternative and also a Llama alternative. So if you've been watching the series posted on XDA TV for those, this will be definitely in the same field. The difference here essentially is the simplicity and the fact that this application, I think, is still being developed and still growing and adding new features, and you're able to provide inputs into the development of this application by checking out the thread. So let's go ahead and open up the thread and see what we have in there. The main thing you'll have obviously is there's an advertising for the application up. The developer gives us a little bit of an explanation as far as what profile flow and some of the main profiles you'll be able to set up, the main triggers as far as the activation triggers, and what you can do, change, and set up. Also provides us with a few screenshots. If we open up the Google Play Store, we look it up, and the version of the application currently is 2.2, supporting 2.2 and higher for the Android OS. File size is about 4.4 megabytes. It's free, and as far as the development, it's being currently supported and has been accepted and has a lot of good reviews. We'll go ahead and open up the application on the Google Play Store. Look for Profile Flow by Amit Chandrapa. The application itself was updated on the 19th, May 19th. Version 2.2 is the current version, 4.42 megabytes is the file size. When you open it up, you're first greeted by the dashboard. You have the ability here to add new profiles, or be able to go in and set up main setup for the application itself, not the profile. So as far as showing notification or how things are set up, it gives you the profile version and the credits. And then you also have a little bit of tab here. You can rearrange your profiles once you have them set up to set up priority. You can upgrade to Pro, and then of course there's the help. If you scroll to the left, you'll notice that these are the actions that you're able to provide. You have wireless and network type of actions. You have sound and volume, which essentially just controls those functions, the display functions, and the phone call type functions if you want to send or make a call. If you scroll to the right of the dashboard, we have the automatic or the profile flow activation button. This is where you turn it on or turn it off. If you have multiple profiles running at the same time, this is where you'll see it. I currently only have one profile running, and that's why it's 100% of the pie. What we have here is a history of some of the profiles that have been running, and it tells you when they ran and what they've been doing. So the main meat of what this application will do is the interface on the dashboard. This is where you'll be able to add a new profile and modify existing profiles. So if you want to modify an existing profile, I just tap the profile itself. It takes me in, gives me the entrance criteria, what it needs to do once it's activated, and then what does it do after it exits. I've set up this profile for work. I want it to basically be based on the days of the week, based on location when I get close enough to this area, based on time of day, which essentially is when I get to work. I want it to turn on Wi-Fi, turn off my Bluetooth, turn on my notification volume higher, but change my ringtone down to vibration, volume enable and disable. And I realized that there's a conflict in here, just as a heads up. After I exit, I wanted to turn off my Wi-Fi, reverse my notification volume back to normal, and the ring type to normal. So if we want to modify this, we press and hold. It gives us three options. We can either delete it, edit it, or cancel what we were trying to do. So if we go delete, it'll delete this trigger. Edit it, we can change it to be something else. Discard it just tells us basically go back, I don't want to change anything. And then I can go out of the application itself. You can put in a description, a small profile description as far as what it does, and then there's an option to do a light profile. So this is an example of a regular profile set up with an entrance and an exit task, and as well as a functionality of what it needs to do. I've set up a couple. I have a battery saver mode, which when activated based on the percentage of my battery, I want it to do these things so that it reduces the amount of consumption of system resources so that my battery will last longer. And then once it's done, I want it to turn on my mobile data and my auto sync, but I don't want it to turn on all the other options. It does not have the ability of controlling your brightness to automatic right now. It can only be set to a certain level, but I'm sure that'll be one of the updates that comes up in the future. So we'll go ahead and set up we'll set up a light profile. A light profile, and the difference between a regular and a light profile. If you notice, when you turn on a profile, you have start with the activation method, and you have a task and an exit. The light profile takes away the functionality of having an exit criteria. Basically, you set it up and you turn it on when you need it, and it'll just perform that. It will not exit out at a certain time when you change things. So if you just want to turn on Wi-Fi and a whole, a certain set of predetermined features, you can set it up in here, and you can just say, music play, and then what you go in here, and then you can say based on manual activation, so it knows that you will activate it and what you want it to do. You want to turn on Bluetooth, so you want to be able to listen to your headphones. And you want to turn on Wi-Fi. So those are the things I like to do, but what I also like to do is I want to reduce the sound of my notifications. So I go in and I go to vibrate mode, enable, and I also like, if I can, set up my volume level. So my media volume level, I want it to be somewhere around 30%. So this activation method right now is set up for me to do it. So whenever I activate this, it won't exit out of it unless I disable it manually. And then I just go ahead and hit save. And you'll notice that it adds the last profile to the bottom of the list. So instead of priorities, if it has an automatic profile, it will turn on the first one, the second one, and then the third one. And if I want to change it, the rearrange mode, and I can move my music profile ahead of my home profile. And we'll go ahead and save it again. Some of the main features that are going to be coming out from the developer are the activation by application, activation by cell ID, as opposed to currently it uses GPS to find out where your location is. So if, the other options also that are being supported or will be supported by the developer are activation by NFC. Control of GPS is only available for Android 4.2 and higher. The application's interface is very nice. It's clean. It's a hollow-based UI, but it's colored a little bit so that it looks a lot nicer. It is type of an application that you would use to automate your life. Now, I'm not saying this is a replacement for Tasker. I'm not saying this is in the same ballpark as Tasker. It's being developed and maintained by the developer on XDA. They have their own website also as far as some of the walkthrough and examples. I like the way it works on the system in the sense of it's simple. It's not meant to be the overwhelming Tasker. It's not meant to be the overwhelming, other applications on the market that you can get into and sit for hours trying to figure out how to set it up and how to use it. I'm trying to make sure that you guys are realizing that this application is still in the development stage. It's being updated. Last update was on the 19th or the 20th, and it was updated to version 2.2. Some of the new features that developers trying to put out there are activation by application, activation by NFC, activation and use of cell data as opposed to cell tower ID, as opposed to having to use GPS so that it uses less power. The developer's open to comments and recommendations. Check out the post in the description, and you can definitely provide any input. Hope you guys like this. Check it out. Check it out and let me know what you think of the application itself. It's directed, and it definitely will support a lot of more functionalities in the near future, and a lot of other functionalities that you can actually recommend even if you find some things that you want and they're not available in the application. The other applications on the market are great. This is supported and maintained by XDA forum member Amit GC. Check it out and let me know what you think. As usual, please make sure to check out the DEF CON if you're definitely going there. Also, like and subscribe to the channel and check out my channel. I'll see you guys next week.